Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Patty G Show, where we are brewing up a great episode coming your way. We're standing back and enjoying some coffee with French Settlement Roasting Co. We've got Billy in the studio talking all things coffee, all things roasting, and just the flourishing business that he has ahead of him. So big thanks to our wonderful sponsors that bring you the show each and every week: Felier Real Estate, Lake Men's Health Center, Cortex, and PB&J Productions. Enjoy the show. So, first sip, it is like no bitterness. And like I don't normally drink coffee black. Like I'm normally cream and sugar and just like a little half and half and like a little packet of cane sugar, and that's like it. That's what I'd put in a typical cup like this. But there's no bitterness whatsoever.
I'm doing something right then.
Okay, so you didn't like coffee is where we were. Yeah. And all of a sudden you decide, let me start a coffee company, right? Because that's what everybody does. I hate this thing. Let me make a company that does this thing.
Wasn't quite that easy. So somebody introduced me to a coffee, and he was roasting at his house. Never planned on being big. He was doing it for himself.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized you can have a coffee that's not bitter. And that's kind of what got me into it. He told me one day, hey, try my coffee. I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to waste your stuff and your hobby. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I'll bring it home and it'll be a waste. He's like, seriously, bring it home and try it. I said, all right. So I took him up on his offer, and I brought it home, tried it, and it's like, wow, it's good. It's not bitter at all, what I was expecting.
So, I mean, how does somebody get into hobby roasting coffee, I guess? Like, how does that become a thing?
I would assume that most people get into it because they like coffee, and they're trying to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
But it was just the opposite with me. I didn't like coffee, and I knew I liked that guy's coffee, but I wouldn't be able to get it unless I went to him, and he wasn't doing it anymore. So if I wanted to continue to have it, I had to do it myself.
So how did you, like, I wouldn't even know the first place to get started to start getting coffee beans and roasting them. Like,
oh, I didn't know any of that.
So what happened? Walk us through that. How did that come to fruition? You said, okay, I want a non-bitter coffee. He's the only one I know that does it, but he's stopping it.
Well,
so
it kind of went from that to, I met another guy later on, and he was into cold brew, and he asked me if I ever had cold brew. I didn't know anything about it, and I said no. And being that I couldn't get the other guy's coffee anymore, I said I don't like coffee. And he said, well, cold brew gets rid of the bitterness that you don't like about coffee. And I said, all right, interesting. So he got me all set up with the equipment I needed, went to order off of Amazon, and I got it all in. I made the cold brew. He sent me the directions, and it was just like you said, it wasn't bitter at all. So then, of course, my mind goes to work, being the entrepreneur I am. And I was like, imagine having a good quality coffee and doing cold brew with it. And he was like, man, I bet that would be good. So I was like, well, how do I get these beans? I didn't know how to get good beans and good coffee anymore. So that's what got me looking into it. And you could start roasting with a little popcorn popper, like the old school. You put a little oil in it and the kernels. And
yeah, like the little handheld. You crank it right here. It's got the spinner at the bottom.
It's not a hand. Well, I'm sure they have that kind.
Like the old school popcorn ones. Yeah, right? It's a big tin.
And you plug it in, and it's got the little metal.
Oh no! See, I'm thinking even older school. Like there's a little hand crank hand. That's what we used to have growing up. Was like a little stainless popcorn popper.
I think I do know what you're talking about.
A wooden handle, and at the end it would be like a little hand crank.
Yep.
So you would crank it, and it would go down, and then it would split off, and at the bottom of the container with the lid and everything, it would have this little spinner, and it would just spin the kernels around underneath. So it was, I guess, a handheld version.
Yeah,
of the
handheld version.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a lot more work. I probably wouldn't.
My parents gave it to us so it would entertain us for like 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm
right?
sure. Yeah,
they're like, okay, just sit here and crank the popcorn. Like, you want popcorn? We're not going to stick it in the microwave. You're going to put the kernels in, and you're actually going to sit here and turn it. So they just kept us busy for 15 minutes.
Yeah. You get out of hand. Hey, go make popcorn.
Exactly. So you started with that.
I started with that, and then it was really good. It's not as much control as obviously the bigger machines and everything, but it was still good. And I was like, if I can make good coffee on this. But taking what I took and made out of that popcorn popper, I brought it to the guy who mentioned the cold brew to me. And he was like, man, that's really good coffee. He's like, I'd like to just order my coffee from you from now on. Well, being a popcorn popper, it takes about a week to make a 12-ounce bag of that.
Really?
So, yeah. Because it's unless you're doing it for a long time.
Why? Okay, so why so long?
Well, because it's very small batches. You're only doing like a handful of beans at a time.
Oh, a handful.
Yeah, it's not very many.
Oh,
it might be enough to make a couple of cups.
Super, super thin.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And because you want it to heat up in a certain amount of time and cool down in a certain amount of time. And that's the other part. Was there no cooler in that popcorn popper? So I had to rig up all these little contraptions to get the beans cool as fast as possible. So I had one of the blowers that you blow leaves with. I had that at one time. I had a fan blowing it, and it makes a huge mess because beans have chaff, and so as they pop, like a popcorn would, a little skin comes off, and it makes a mess. So I started inside in the house, which the wife loved, not really. So then I got kicked outside to do this, and then the mess. So I had the little blower blowing all that skin everywhere, and
so now you're just making a big old mess outside.
Yep, making a mess outside, but at least because of smoke and everything too. So eventually, I was like, I need to find a better system, and I couldn't keep up. If he gets the bag from it, then I don't have coffee. So I was like, okay, a good problem to have. So I started looking into the next machine to buy. Well, this next machine was about $1,200, and I'm like, okay, I didn't like coffee at all, and then I'm spending $1,200 on coffee.
Yeah, you're getting beyond hobby.
Yeah,
like, I feel like hobby is a popcorn popper, right?
Yeah,
and now you're getting not commercial.
So I was like very hesitant on buying this, but then I was like, well, the guy likes it, and like I said, making people happy. And if that's the only way I can drink coffee, then I guess I'm gonna do it. So it took me a while to pull the trigger on the $1,200 coffee roaster, and I did, bought it, but it's the same problem. It still made a mess, and it still has all this other issues with the popcorn popper, but you can do more at a time. So now I can do about 5 bags a week.
So you mean you 5x your production?
Yep. So I mean, I thought that was a big increase, and then I got enough for me, him, and maybe a couple other people.
Right.
But it got to where the word started spreading. Now I'm working 8 hours a day on that machine. So I come home from work, I spend 8 hours trying to make enough bags on that, and then go to sleep and wake up, go to work, get home, 8 hours a day on that machine. And I mean, I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I mean, so you're working this now just for almost like a handful of people at this point. Okay.
And it's already, I can't keep up with that.
Well, yeah, because your machine, your volume is so low.
And then people are saying, well, you should go to a farmer's market. And I was like, okay, well, I got to
you need a lot more bags than just 5.
Need to build up, and then you're going to have 2-week-old coffee by the time I get to the farmer's market. So then I bought this other machine, which I got it custom made, black and gold, being from New Orleans. I wanted it to kind of have that feel for me. So a little personal. That's why my bags are also black and gold. And a little hidden information that most people would never think about. It. Oh, it's a gold bag because it looks good. But to me, it's because of the Saints, being a Saints fan growing up and everything else. So that's how that started. So I bite the bullet. I buy this big machine. I ain't even gonna tell you that price. My wife was like, "Are you sure?"
You custom made it, right? So some of that price is on you.
Not a whole lot of it.
Really?
The color wasn't that big of an addition.
Okay.
Because it was the build that's the main part of the machine.
Got it. The color is just the after. Okay.
Yeah. So it was only like a few $100s for the color.
Okay.
So I got that in, and I was like, this is crazy. I called it my forever machine. I was like,
your forever machine.
There's no way I'm ever gonna spend this much more on coffee, and I can't see growing past this. And it was trying to think of production wise, I could probably do maybe 300 bags a week.
300?
But that's if I'm roasting 8 hours a day, and I didn't plan on doing that.
Okay.
Because I thought this would keep up. If I just did one day, let's say 8 hours on a Saturday, that'd be enough to keep everybody busy for the week.
Right.
Well, once we got into the markets and other people started trying the coffee and loving it, and like you said, I can drink this black, it's not bitter, the word started spreading quick.
Yeah.
It got to where I was roasting 8 hours a day on that machine. And this only took about 2 months after getting the machine.
You were doing 2,100 bags a week?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And I was like,
you were selling out?
Oh, yeah. Because I have so many different types. We got 19 countries and a few blends.
Okay, let's back up to supply first. Let's back up. 19 countries.
19 countries.
All right. So at first I could follow you, right? Popcorn machine, you could buy that off Amazon. You could probably buy some unroasted beans off Amazon, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay, now you're beyond that. You're beyond the consumer side of this. You're beyond the hobby side of this. That first machine was hobby, right? That's not just, oh, I'm going to be the
even
special
coffee
drinker.
Second, maybe two.
Yeah, okay. So how do you then go from that to sourcing 19 countries of beans? And I'm assuming you're blending all these different beans together.
Blends and by themselves, single origins, which is also popular. And you get to taste the flavor of the actual bean from that country. Okay. And people don't realize how much difference in taste the origin makes a difference in the elevation.
Okay, so we've got the K, we're drinking the K cups right now. So are these a blend of countries, or is this
that one's straight Colombian?
Straight Colombian coffee.
Yep. And I call that my gateway drug because people coming from other big brands, that's what they know is the Colombian.
Yeah.
So try my Colombian compared to their Colombian.
Okay, and the main difference is we'll get to it in more detail, but the main difference is like how you roast it.
Correct.
Okay, so how do you pick the 19 countries? Let's start there.
Well, I used to do beer. I did wine. and I did a few other things. So
Okay.
it was kind of an easy transition, and I like to do, if I'm gonna do it, go big or go home. So I started with one bean. I got that one down. Let's try another one. When I was doing beer, I probably had 20 different beers going.
Okay, hang on now. So we need to back up even further before French Settlement Coffee. You did beer and wine?
I did beer and wine, but not full production, not in stores or anything like that. It was personal use, but it was getting so big to where I was probably going to go that
personal use?
way.
You're drinking 15 types of beer?
Friends and family, and
Okay.
Yep. And I like to try to perfect each one.
Right.
So I get this one down. Let's try, and there's so many different beers and flavors.
Right.
I want to get them all down.
Jeez. Okay. So I mean, so you'd already had experience with home brewing, home blending of different products with the beer, and then wine. Like, that's not something everybody does at home. Like beer, I get it. They sell the beer kits.
Yep.
You can do that and do a batch or two. But like, how did you get into the wine out space?
So I got way further into the just home production beer kits. I built machines and big stainless steel and semi-auto, and it got pretty big.
Were you selling this?
I was not selling it.
Okay. So, I mean, you had a lot of friends and family then to consume.
And everybody
how
likes
many
the
gallons of beer?
I mean, we have get-togethers, and hey, you know what? Don't bring your stuff. I have it already.
Jeez. And you're just doing this just
for fun.
For fun. Man.
And I don't even drink that much beer. Try to stay healthy and all that good stuff, and try to stay away from wheat. And obviously,
here you are making, how many gallons of beer at a time were you making?
I was doing about a keg at a time.
Okay, well, that's not, I mean, that's a few hundred beers.
And it started with bottles, so I'd probably do about 3 or 4 6-packs, and then you work up to a 5-gallon bucket, and then from there it went to kegs, and started getting out of control. Kegerator, and I was doing root beer also, and cream soda. So we have the kegerator at home. I'd have beer on one side, and the cream soda or root beer on the other side. I'd make for the kids, and so they liked it, and they go to kegerator, and they felt like they were.
Why did we do this show at his house, Jan?
I'm saying.
We should have done it at his house. Roasted coffee, beer, and cream soda. Like, man, okay. So you're doing beer.
My wife was more of a wine drinker, so that's how we migrated over to wine. And
so
then
not a problem. I'll make you your own wine.
Yeah, keep the wife happy. You're right.
Gosh, okay.
And so one of the wines in particular, Amarone, on average, I found it for like $80, $90 a bottle.
$80 to $90 a bottle.
And I don't want to pay that much every time I want to drink a bottle of wine.
Right.
I was like, I can make this for $15 a bottle, and we're making 30 bottles at a time. It just sounded like the right thing to do.
Okay. So walk me through wine production. We've had some breweries and stuff on, so I get that. We haven't had anybody that does wine before.
And wine's a lot easier to do than beer.
So okay, so how do you do it? How'd you get started? I mean, you're doing beer, so you've got a little bit of a foot in the door.
And most of the equipment's the same.
Okay.
Beer you can do in a plastic bucket if you really wanted to. Like I said, I moved up to stainless, so I had all the stuff to do the wine. I was buying the juice. I wasn't doing it completely from scratch with the grapes and all that. So you buy the juice, the same thing. It uses the different chemicals you put in there, and along with the yeast and ferments, and then you filter it out and let it sit.
So you're buying like Welch's grape juice? Like, where are you buying this juice from?
You can order wine kits.
Okay.
But the wine kit is basically just the stuff you add to the juice, and they provide the juice.
Got it.
And enough to do 5 gallons or 30 bottles.
So you're picking where you get the juice from to help with the flavor profile. Yep. Okay.
And the type of yeast you use makes a big factor in that too.
Got it. So you're just reading beer brewing kits, wine.
There's some other stuff that I'm not sure 100% with stills and stuff. So we won't go too much into that one.
All right. So you've got experience making drinks.
Correct.
So now you're moving into beans and all that stuff. So you're picking these different beans. I mean, yeah, your Colombian beans is great, but then like, how do you get to the point where you're like, of 19 countries that sell coffee beans?
Well, being that I didn't grow up drinking coffee, I wasn't sure what any of them tasted like.
Right.
So I want to try them all and see what I like best. And then I was able to tell that they're all different. They all have a different, distinct taste, and I like them. The way I was doing them, I like them all. But if I have customers and I want to sell stuff, then I want them to have a big variety to choose from, because they might not like the Colombian. They might like the Honduras better, or the Ethiopian, which you do lighter, and it has more of a floral taste or fruity taste to it.
Okay.
And then some of the Colombians and the Honduras, you taste the chocolate notes in the background, and some people like that better. So
how are you buying these beans? Are you
Well, I started on Amazon, like you said, and it's small, but the smaller quality you buy at the same, at once. If you buy just a handful, it's going to cost you a lot more per batch, let's say. So now I'm buying 150-pound sacks, and it's a whole lot cheaper per pound. but I have a whole lot more to roast now.
And so you're buying them like green beans. Green beans. Okay.
I should have brought some.
I know, we could have had like a sack of pulling out beans and all that stuff. Cool. Okay, so you're buying them straight from the manufacturers or the
so they
farmers
have
over
importers.
there? Okay.
And that's the easiest way to do it because they buy, like, a lot of times the farmers want to send you a whole container, which I can't get a whole container of one type of bean. So they get the whole container, they break it down into 150-pound sacks, and they sell it like that.
Got it.
I do work with a couple of farmers directly, and pretty good relationships. Several times they come straight to my warehouse, drop off the beans, and one guy's from Nicaragua that I work with. So he actually lives in New Orleans, but he goes to Nicaragua for about a week out of every month just to keep up with his farm and make sure everything's going right. So it works out pretty good. We got a good friendship, and I try to sell as much of his product since we have that relationship.
Yeah, he just comes back with a suitcase full of coffee beans.
No, he gets them shipped back in containers for himself, and he does his own thing too.
Got it. So, I mean, at what point, when you were doing this for friends and family, are you just giving it to them in like a mason jar? Like, do you have your own bags at this point? What is that end production look like once they're roasted? And is it just beans? Are you grinding it?
I did find some just solid bags and was putting stickers on them at first and a little clamp heat machine, old school, and that's how I was doing it for a while. And then from there, it went to bigger sealing equipment. Mason jars, I did the whole beans. I used to put them in mason jars just because it presentation.
Right. You can see the beans.
You can see it. You can see they're not oily. You can see they're not burnt. And you open the jar. So beans degas when you roast them. It's supposed to sit for about 4 or 5 days. So in that mason jar, when you undo the lid, you can hear that pop sound too. So that was a pretty cool to show them. And then when you do that, and all the smell hits them in the face, and they're like, wow. So it was just a fun experience. It makes a good time, like when you put the mason jar on the table at a farmer's market and people walk by and it catches their eye pretty quick. And then the gold bags with our logo on there kind of popped out.
So then you had to source out and get a bag manufacturer or a bag distributor for the specific bags.
For those, I was getting from Amazon, actually.
Really?
But you only buy about 100 at a time, so it's still paying top dollar because you're not getting them in bulk.
Right.
So now I order them by thousands at a time, and they're printed, so I no longer have to deal with the stickers.
So now you're getting them already custom printed and everything. You don't have to worry about it. It comes with all of your language and everything like that already on the back. Yep.
And because you got to order so many at one time, we started with the gold bags. So the difference in the gold and white, the gold bags are ground, the white bags, the whole beans. We used to put it on the label and put ground coffee and whole bean on the bottom on the label, and it just when you got a bunch of them in the box and you're trying to figure out what's what and they're all the same color, I was like, we got to do something different. So that's why we went to the white bags, and so it's a lot easier to figure out which is which.
Yeah.
And so we ordering bags in bulk. It costs so much to get them in bulk, so we went with the gold bags, the ground, since that was the bigger seller at the time, and we kept putting the labels manually on the white bags for the whole beans. So we just got those bags in recently, about not even a month ago.
Okay.
So now it's all printed.
Got it. So now it's all start to finish done. You're not adding anything else.
Yeah.
So then how do they distinguish between the different flavors of the different beans from the different countries? Are you having specific bags for those, or is that like a tag system?
It's just a tag system. That's part of the label.
Got it.
We print it, put it on the bottom. It tells you what it is, the flavor notes, the country.
Gives you a little bit of background in the bean or the ground.
And then if you go to the website, we have a lot more information on each of them too.
Got it. So at what point did you realize this was going to become a business and not just remain a hobby?
When I was working 8 hours a day on top of my 8 hours a day. That's when I realized that this is going somewhere and I can't keep up.
Yeah. So are you still doing all this by yourself?
I'm doing all the roasting by myself. Do most of the bagging during the week by myself. On the weekends, my wife will help me catch up when I fall behind, because it's not if, it's usually when. And then sometimes she'll meet me at the warehouse after work, and if we're real behind, and then we'll both work.
So now you got a warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
So when did the warehouse come into the picture?
When we got the bigger machine. So the one I called my forever machine.
Yeah.
And we outgrew that one because I was roasting 8 hours a day on it. So I upgraded again. And definitely, this cost more than my car. And I was like, there's no way I'm... But I see where it's going, so I didn't want to keep taking these small steps.
Right.
So I said, hey, we need to buy this big machine. And she was like, you're out of your mind. And she talked me down to about 4 sizes below what I was looking at, which is still really big.
Yeah.
So this machine will do 2,000 pounds a day.
2,000 pounds a day?
Correct.
For 8 hours?
Yes.
Jeez. So what does that equate to in bags?
About 2,000 bags.
Oh, so a pound. Okay, so 1 pound bags.
Because they lose weight. So you take the 1 pound, and by the time it loses its weight, it's roughly about 12 ounces.
Okay. Jeez. So you're now up to doing 2,000 pounds, and you're selling out like every single week?
I don't always roast 2,000 pounds a day, but the machine's capable of that.
Okay.
So I bought that knowing where the business was going and trying to plan ahead.
Gotcha.
Welcome to the brand new Falaya mobile app. We took all the same tech that's helped hundreds of people sell their homes themselves and packed it into an easy-to-use app for your phone. When you download the Falaya mobile app on either the Apple or Android App Store, you'll immediately be able to see the power of this game-changing tool. From the seller's dashboard, you can navigate to all the information that you need. We intentionally separated everything into key groups, such as tasks to be completed, buyer leads for your listing, and contact information for everyone involved through closing. When you get an offer on your property, you can simply review and respond all within the app. No matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to monitor everything that's going on with your property from listed to sold. It's truly the power of Falaya in the palm of your hand. Download the app and see for yourself. Falaya, it's real estate reimagined.
And now the bagging machine is the hold up. So if I can roast 2,000 pounds a day, I cannot bag 2,000 bags a day.
So how many bags can you bag a day?
Right now I'm doing about 60 bags an hour by hand. One at a time.
So you're still bagging them all by hand?
Yes.
So when's the bagging machine coming in?
That's it keeps getting brought up, but then it keeps getting put off. Not just because of the price, but because of other things that we put our money into. Like we just bought the coffee truck, Espresso Go. And so a big chunk of our savings and money went to getting that going.
So what is Espresso Go?
Espresso Go is a lot of schools and other businesses, dentist offices, hospitals. They'll call us up and say, hey, can you come by and make coffee? It's the made drinks. So we go there. It has the cappuccinos, frappuccinos, smoothies, teas, loaded teas, energy drinks, and of course coffee in every form of fashion.
And it's all French Settlement coffee.
It's all French Settlement Roasting Company on there.
Love it. So how did that come about? Like, how did you decide to take that another step further? Because you've got your warehouse and you're doing everything in there, and it's well and it's known, but it doesn't sound like you've had like a food truck level experience before. What made you want to go that route and kind of take on that new venture?
I have never had a food truck, but I did want to get our coffee out to more places, and I thought that was the best way to do it. And coffee truck Espresso Go that we bought was an established route already, so it was already gone to certain businesses. Instead of us having to build a truck from scratch and reach out to a bunch of new businesses, it seemed like a no-brainer.
Got it. So it had a full list of clients that they were already servicing on the regular.
Yes.
And you just assumed their route.
Yep.
Okay. So how does that now work, given that you still have a 9 to 5, so to speak, right? Or is this your full in French Settlement now?
Oh, no. I'm still doing a 9 to 5.
Okay.
I work at the nuclear power plant.
Okay.
But I get up at 3 o'clock every day. I go to work, get there early so I can leave early. And after I go there and clock out, it's time to go to the warehouse and do whatever needs to be done to catch up with the coffee roasting.
But what about the coffee truck? Who's
so the coffee truck, my wife does most of that. It's more of what you would call just scheduling and taking the calls, being a coordinator, and we have people that they work it.
So you do have a team now that
we do have a team that works the coffee truck, and they enjoy it. And it's funny because a lot of the people they come on and they was like, I would never expect to like something like that, but I need a couple extra dollars, and they go there and every time. I love that. I don't know if I want to do anything else. Because you get to see a lot of people. It's interactive, and you're making drinks, and it's just fun to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm sure it's very, hyperactive and high energy because you've got everybody coming there at once. You're not just sitting in a brick and mortar waiting for people to come in. You're like going somewhere where they know, okay, I've got 100, 200, whatever the number of people is that are going to be here that want to buy the product. And so as soon as we get there, we're rolling.
Correct.
So is that happening every single day now, or
every
are you
day.
Just so 7 days a week, or just during the week?
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And that's when we have the team that I mentioned, and they go work it Monday through Friday. On the weekends is when we get to go do it, assuming we don't have something else. But we're trying to ramp up what was already established when we bought it. So she was only doing mornings Monday through Friday. So we want to do more evenings and weekend events. So me and my wife take the truck out on the weekends, and we sign up for events and go sit out in places.
And this is all, like, I'm guessing, in the French Settlement area.
No, it's not all in the French settlement area. It's Livingston Parish, Ascension Parish, Baton Rouge, and we ventured out a little bit past there too.
So y'all are everywhere across Louisiana. That's incredible.
One of the bigger ones the truck's about to go to coming up is going to be in Hammond at the Hammond Air Show. And that's going to be crazy busy. I'm looking forward to that one.
That's going to be insane.
I'm trying to figure out the logistics. Cause
that's what I was about to say. Like, okay, so you've got this truck now. How do you plan logistically for an event of that size?
So I'm already being told that the next purchase I need, which puts off the bagging machine again, is a golf cart. Because you can't drive a truck back and forth with the air show going on. And they said you can only have golf carts because they don't want something that goes too fast for safety reasons. So now I got to find a golf cart.
So they won't let people come to the truck to get the coffee?
Yes, people can go to the truck, but I'm going to have to go back and forth with supplies and reloading like ice and syrups, more cups or whatever. Instead of walking all the way across, you can have a golf cart. Yeah,
but I feel like the bagging machinery's got to come eventually.
It has to come eventually.
Right.
Definitely. Because I want to get more and more stores. And I got a lot of stores right now. And every store we in to this day has called me and said, can we get your coffee? What do you have to do to get your coffee? I said, just had to call me and let me know. And that worked for a while until I started having to tell people, just give me some time because I can't keep up. And I don't want to stock your shelves and not be able to refill the shelves.
Right.
And that's where the bagging machine is going to come in.
So you've got delivery routes for different stores in your area right now that you're servicing. Yeah. And are you delivering them all yourself or are you going through a third party? Okay. And you're still doing this.
So we do the roasting, the grinding, the bagging, the labeling, the distribution, the getting out there and getting their name out.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when you said you don't sleep much. Like I don't
have time to sleep.
I was about to say I don't see room for sleep in your schedule. You're just one thing after another. Just golly. That's incredible though that you've been able to build something that's in such high demand where you're seeing that growth continuing to happen.
And the more you see the growth, it's more and more harder to stop. Like the more you want to do it.
Right. Do you see a point in time where you leave the power plant?
At some point. It's hard. I've been there 20 years and it kind of got me by a pension. And so if I leave, I lose that and it's a big chunk of money to just give away. So unless this is replacing that, I'm going to juggle them as long as I can.
Must have, how many more years you got on that pension piece?
About 9 until I can retire.
Got it. Oh, so it's 30. Okay.
Well, it's not how many years you're there. It's 55 and I'm not anywhere near that yet. So
got it. But see, in 9 years,
a lot can happen.
A lot can
happen. You never know. I mean, if this replaces that pension, it might be a no-brainer.
Yeah. So let's actually get into the product itself because you talk about how it's not bitter, which is very true. It's not a bitter coffee when you drink it. I normally don't drink my coffee black. It's normally cream and sugar. What is the difference in what you do as compared to the larger coffee manufacturers?
Well, I'll start. Some of it is we talked about the origin. It's not so much the origin, but I only deal with quality beans. People that are mass producing and trying to fill the nation up with coffee, they're not really so much concerned with quality because quality usually comes with a price. So we do specialty grade coffee like wine is graded. Most people don't know that coffee is also graded. Anything rated above an 80 is considered specialty grade. So we only deal with specialty grade coffee and only organic. So all our coffee is organic.
Okay.
And so that's part of it. But then the roasting part comes into play. A lot of those that are mass producing, they burn in their beans. And when you burn them, they get oily. A lot of people talk about molding coffee, where anytime you put a liquid on a powder, you can know it's going to turn to mold pretty fast.
Right.
And that's basically when you're burning your beans and you're getting the oils and then you ground it up. You don't see that because it's all dark colored. But as it sits in that bag, it's going to mold at some point.
So why are they burning their beans?
It's not because they don't know what they're doing. They're doing it for consistency. Because they have so much product they're going through. And let's say they're dealing with one particular farm or they want to deal with one farm for consistency. Well, they're so big that they buy up that farm and they use every bit of those beans. So they got to get it from another farmer. So when they do that, they want to stay consistent. So how do we make this bean taste like this bean? Once you burn it, they all taste the same.
Got it.
So that's their business plan and their model. But being a smaller roaster and not nationwide, I can kind of keep the quality at a higher level.
Yeah, and you can make it to exactly what you're after.
Exactly.
Okay. And so when you were going through that process of figuring out how to do that, were you talking to big roasters? Were you talking to other little roasters? Or how did you know what that temperature range was to get it to avoid bitterness.
Every bit of my process has been trial and error. Most people do the smart thing before they start a new hobby or a new business, and they do a lot of research on it, watching YouTube videos, reading books. Yeah, none of that did I do. I didn't read anything. I didn't watch any videos. I just, being the background I had with the beer and the wine and everything, I said, let's just see what happens.
Wow.
So that's what I did. I started, and I was like, oh, that don't taste good. And then do another one, I go a little bit darker, and that tastes a little better. Go a little bit darker. Oh, that don't taste good. So I go back to the one that tasted good, and I work my way from there. Then the more airflow, the faster you cool it down. So it was just, and it was a lot faster. I made it sound like that was a long process, but it really wasn't.
And so then are you making different, like medium roast, light roast, dark roast? Because those have different caffeine levels from my understanding. And so are you incorporating that to get different levels, or is it all kind of the same roast?
It's not the same roast. They're all different temperatures, but I did find that if you go too dark, you get the oils, and that's what I want to stay away from, and that's where the burnt bitterness comes from, even with a quality bean. So I don't do dark roast per se for that reason, unless somebody specially requests it, and I'll do it on occasion, but I prefer not to. So most of my beans are in that medium level. I found that to be the sweet spot, and I do one light roast, which is Ethiopian, because they're known for their lighter roast, and that's where you get their little profile notes with the fruity flavors and all.
Okay.
Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Lake Men's Health Center with Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. Guys, I know it's tough to get out and go to the doctor. I know it's challenging to find time in our busy days, but I promise you, signing up to be a part of this group with Dr. Curtis Chastain and Dr. Tyler Boudreau, you won't regret it for several reasons, but most of those being the fact of the time it saves, where you're able to get in on the same day, get that appointment done, and spend that time you need to talk with them about what your health goals and concerns are, as well as ensuring that the financial investments you have, you will be able to live out and see those come to fruition. So if you're an investing guy, you know all about and planning for the future and investing in the future. There's no other more important thing to invest in than your health. Make sure you go check them out, Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group Men's Health Center, and tell them Patty G sent you.
So you're still doing custom orders, it sounds like.
I do, all the time.
That has got to be a pain, though.
It's a lot to keep up with. And but being a small roaster, I can still do that, and I love doing that. People say, hey, let's try to blend these two together. Can you go a little bit darker on this one for me? Okay.
So, I mean, how do you logistically make that make sense, I guess?
I try to keep it in my head, but my memory is not the greatest.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of digital note-taking, like we said, and I try to keep some pretty good notes, but then at some point my notes get so overwhelming, a sticky note here and there, and then I got to remember to look at those notes, and then I have a note to tell me to go back and look at the note that I put there.
Jeez, it's like following a trail of sticky notes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, pull this one. All right, yeah, now turn around behind you. There's the answer.
And I'm sure I forget something, and especially like business leads, and they pile up, and I'm like 2 months down the road, oh man, I forgot to call such and such. I'm going to call them up. I was like, yeah, I was wondering when you were going to call me. I was like, yeah, sorry, I lost that note.
So this is like continuing to grow, and people are submitting, I guess, orders for certain blends and origins. Are you doing this through a website? Are you doing this through text messaging? Like, how are they submitting these custom orders to you?
It started with text messaging, emails, Facebook messages, but now it's mostly through the website.
Okay.
And every day is more and more because we're getting more and more states, out of state.
Y'all are out of state now, too.
Oh, yeah.
So what states y'all deliver to?
We don't deliver, per se,
Okay.
but we ship.
You ship them.
And we'll ship to all the states. There actually is a coffee truck in Ohio that uses our coffee beans now. There's a...
How did they find you?
I have no idea. I've asked them. I think they said it was like one of them said Google search. Somebody else said it was just Facebook. They were browsing and it showed up, just popped up one day. You know how the algorithms work. And
Yeah.
hey, I like coffee. Well, look at this guy. So
are y'all like doing videos and stuff on social media to get a presence, or?
I do a lot of posting. I wouldn't say videos. I'm not usually a video on screen kind of guy. So I'll put a picture of something else, like the coffee.
Yeah.
I usually try to stay out of it. My wife's probably more photogenic than I am, but she's camera shy. So
Okay. So you're on social media making these posts, and you've got people from across the country now ordering your product, and it's mostly end users, or you have outside of the coffee truck? Do you have like other stores trying to order your stuff?
It's both. It's a lot of end users and people going directly to the website ordering. And it started with the 12-ounce bags, but lately, in the last couple of weeks, I've been selling a whole lot of 2-pound and 5-pound bags. And then I have, like I said, the coffee truck in Ohio. There's a shop in Pennsylvania that started ordering. There's a chain of cabins in Tennessee that started ordering.
Cabins?
Cabins.
Like Airbnb cabins?
Yes.
Or okay.
Like it's in Tennessee and Pigeon Forge, so they provide the coffee to their guests. And they just sent me a review a couple days ago, and it was about the coffee.
And so they're literally buying cases of coffee from you at a time? That's incredible.
And I get phone calls all the time from other cafes that are looking to open. Florida is the newest one in Panama City.
Okay.
And he said, man, I did a lot of research and I landed on your coffee. If you could send me about 6 or 7 different samples, and we'll go from there. I said, all right. I said, you want to tell you a little background? He said, not really. I do extensive research when I start businesses. He said,
like,
I already did my research.
Yeah. He's like, I already know way more about you than you're going to say.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I'm fine with it.
So you got to get that. Sounds like that bagging piece of equipment needs to happen now.
Yes.
I mean, because now you're supplying coffee shops and all this and that. I mean, like, did you ever foresee it getting to this point?
I did not. I didn't expect coffee shops, and I was just doing my own thing and making the bags and doing little farmers markets. And the next thing you know, I'm getting phone calls like, hey, I have a coffee shop. Can we buy your coffee? I was like, sure. And then I got to figure out how to make that happen, whether it's working more hours to make it happen or whatnot. But Mela and Santa Mall. I don't know if you've ever been to that one. And that's a pretty busy coffee shop. It's by Santa Mall High School. It's off the main road.
Yeah, I know where it's. I haven't been there before.
But they use our Coffee City pork at LSU.
Okay, they use your
and
coffee. They
stay pretty busy, and they keep up with Mela. They kind of what being at 2 different ones on the college campus. So, and I see there's a Daybreak Nutrition in Gonzales uses our coffee.
Okay,
it's more and more places, and in hotels, like I said, Hotel Indigo, they use our coffee. You go there and get breakfast, they have it. Trying to get in some more hotel rooms.
I know you've got the K-Cups in front of us here. How did you get into the K-Cup market?
People kept asking for them, and I didn't want to do them because it takes about as long to make a single K-Cup as it did to make a bag of coffee.
Jeez.
Because I was doing it by hand, one at a time.
Yeah.
So finally I ended up breaking down and getting a K-Cup machine. So now it's a whole lot faster to kick out 1,200 K-Cups an hour.
1,200 an hour?
Yes.
Okay, so now you got some serious
ramping
production.
up a little more. Yeah.
At what point is the warehouse starting to bust at the seams a little bit? You got some room?
Getting there. At first it was like, man, it's so big, I'm never gonna fill it up, and it's already shrinking on me.
Jeez.
We had an order not too long ago. It was 12,000 pound order.
12,000?
A 12,000 pound order.
Oh my god.
And the warehouse closed in really fast because I'm getting pallets of unroasted beans, and then we're having to roast them, bag them, and then put pallets of the roasted beans and wrap it up. So I had all kind of equipment I didn't even know existed to put pallets together.
Jeez.
Then get an 18-wheeler to back end so we can fill it up with all of the roasted coffee and ship it to Texas.
So I was about to say a big store in Texas, but I mean
it was actually a medical company, and they found us because they only wanted organic. And since that's all we've ever ran through our machines, they wouldn't have to get another company to take it on and clean their machines real well. And they test the coffee once it gets there to make sure there's no chemicals or mold or anything else in there. So that's how they landed on us.
Okay. So you've got your SEO banging with organic coffee only from start. Okay. That's incredible. 12,000 pounds of coffee.
And that wasn't my original business model. Like when I was playing around and trying to figure it out, I was just trying all kind of different coffees. And at the same time, that's when our eating lifestyle kind of changed. And we was like, let's just do organic coffee and make that what we do. And that's what it's been ever since.
And people have fallen in love with it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really crazy, man. So, have you gotten to the point where you've explored hiring somebody else to come in and run the shop other than you and your wife? Is that something on the horizon?
It is something on the horizon, but right now, being as small as we are, by the time we hire somebody to do that and pay an hourly wage, that eats into almost all the profit, especially when it comes to the distribution. You're going to make your rounds to 15 or so stores, and by the time they make those rounds, especially somebody that's a little bit slower and not running like I do, by the time you pay them to work an 8-hour day, all the profit from the stores is gone.
Yeah. So that's when you got to increase your production.
Exactly. That's when they need a bagging machine.
They need the bagging machine.
That's
how we keep on coming back to it. Okay, so then you've also got another branch of this on the commercial side that you do. What do you have going on there?
So that's fairly new. It's the French Settlement Royal Coffee Services. That's where we provide the equipment the coffee brewer, and we only do whole beans instead of having pre-grounds. And you rip the bag open and you pour it in. It's pre-measured. It's whole bean only. You hit the button, it grinds just enough beans for one pot, then it makes the pot of coffee. That way you get that higher end experience. Fresh ground, you get to smell it. To me, it's all part of drinking coffee.
So is it your own made machines, or do you partner with somebody else to get these machines made?
I'm just buying them individually as the orders come up. I'd like to partner with somebody eventually. I just haven't got that far yet.
Got it.
It would probably make more sense in the long run.
Have some black and gold machines.
Yep. So I'm just putting my own logo on the machines I'm buying right now.
Okay. So you're still just buying them one off as they need them, but still commercial grade machines.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. And so how has that been? I mean, I'm just seeing the hours in the day are running out, if not already run out.
And there's so many more ideas and things I have in the works that.
Right.
And it's just more people, more time, and everything else that's going to take.
I know. It's like you're on that cusp of going all in as an entrepreneur with the business, or still, keeping one foot in, one foot out.
That's kind of what I keep hearing.
Yeah, I know. It's like you've got that potential for it to really blow up, but then that safe and that sure thing, which is always right, that mindset and that decision that every entrepreneur is always faced with, right? It always starts off as a hobby, and then if it's done well, it grows and grows and grows, and then now you're realizing that you're spending more hours in the day on this than you are your normal job, right? And so now you're like faced with crossroads almost.
That's part of the process, and being that there's so little profit in a single bag of coffee, that it's kind of hard to make that transition. So mass producing is going to have to happen at some point. I definitely don't want the quality of my coffee to go down, so I want to keep it to where I'm the roaster for now, and eventually teach somebody to do what I'm doing and the process that I'm using, and then obviously getting to the stores in a quick, timely manner.
Yeah. So do you have enough supply to handle that mass production scale?
I do, and I can order more and more, even though with tariffs and everything else, it's harder and harder to get the coffee, and the price of coffee's doubled in the last 9 months or so.
Has it really?
Yes. And that's on top of just everything else going up. So it did the regular increase like everything else, and that's on top of that, it doubled.
Yeah, well, then you've got to keep up with those price increases on your sales price.
Well, that's part of it, too. So I have not raised my prices since day one. Never.
Billy.
Everything else in the world has gone up in the last 6 years.
Billy, come on now.
It's just hard for me to do. I want my customers to stay happy and keep it coming out there. And it's not my only job, so I can afford to do that.
I know.
For now.
Yeah, I was about to say for now, This episode of the Patty G Show is brought to you by Cortex. Cortex is the trusted technology partner for small businesses across Louisiana, delivering managed IT, cybersecurity, and smart strategies to help you leverage AI without the confusion. I mean, aren't we all confused by AI nowadays? As a locally owned company, we understand the challenges Louisiana businesses face and provide tailored solutions that keep your operations secure and efficient. Whether you're looking to strengthen your cybersecurity or explore how AI can give your business a competitive edge, Cortex is here to help. Be sure to mention the Patty G Show and receive a free cybersecurity risk and analysis to see where your business stands. I mean, so have you asked people engage their level of interest at various price increases?
I have.
Okay.
And
because people at this point, I'm not going to buy this coffee because it's $1, $2 cheaper a bag than the competitor, right? Like, this coffee's got different elements to it than sell itself.
Absolutely.
It's not a price. It's not a price point. It's a truly different product.
But to get the name out there, I kept it that price, and then everybody knew it at that price, and I was still getting a lot of new customers and growing daily. So I wanted to keep it at that price just to give everybody the opportunity, because if they've never tried it and the first time they see it's on the shelf and it's $5 more a bag than the one next to them, they're probably going to buy the one next to them.
Yeah.
So now that the word's out and everybody's trying it and now it speaks for itself, I could probably make that change now in price.
So how long you been doing this in total?
Been roasting for about 6 years in total.
6 years. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because even $1 a bag, right? If it's
it make a big difference, especially when you
for you, right? Yes. Yeah. So it's what? So what does that white bean bag sell for?
$15, $14.99.
$14.99. So $15.99. But that is just that dollar for even a small roast, for a small roaster position like yourself. That changes so much.
And I know it sells for $15.99 because some of the stores that we're in, that's what they sell them for.
Okay, so they're obviously marking it up even from, because you're probably selling to them for a wholesale price and they're marking it up.
And I give them the recommended, and I recommend what I sell it for. Otherwise, they're just going to come directly to me, and I want them to sell in the stores.
Right.
So some of the stores take my recommendation, and some don't. And they still move.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, do you have to counteract that any kind of way, or you just kind of let them do what they do?
But if I go up on my price, that means they're going to have to go up on their price.
Yeah.
So that's a process I'm trying to think through and figure out the best way to do it.
Yeah, right. Because to your point, you don't want to lose the customers that have come to know what the product is and worth, and they're used to paying for it. You know, with everything else doubling, they can see one of their products they consume not doubling. It's like, okay, this is, at least we can have good coffee. I
did have customers that told me that when they're looking for coffee online, if it's not $20+ a bag, they don't want it because they know it's probably not good. So now I'm starting to think, with the price of coffee and some of those other bigger brands have raised their prices, we're closer. And so that kind of helps me in a way, because if they got to choose a dollar difference in a bag between mine and one of those bigger brands, they're going to get the better tasting coffee for $1 more.
Right. But, to your point, it's pricing, and figuring out pricing is such a, like, you're trying to work through the mentality of people when they're shopping. And like, you got to push, okay, are they coming in here and they're just grabbing, they just need their coffee, right? So it's like, what consumer are you after? You after the mass consumer that just says, nope, whatever it is, give me a cup of coffee, I'm good, doesn't matter. Or are you after those that are like, I appreciate, and like, my experience when I drink a cup of coffee is like my ritual, my morning ritual, and I want it to be good, and I want it to feel and taste like a high-end coffee or something like that, because $20 a bag, right? It's for you, that would be a $4, $5, $6 increase.
Yeah.
Per bag, which that would
help a lot.
Huge.
That's where it should be.
That'd be huge. It's where it should be, right? So it's like, do you then get up to that price point over time and still maintain that customer base and just say, look, it is a superior product, and so we're going to sell it at a premium, because we know what we're selling is that 100% organic. You're getting a different flavor profile, a different bean, because even then, your price per cup is still changing by pennies.
Yeah.
Like going up $4 or $5 a bag, your price per cup may go from 65 cents to 70 cents, but they're paying $8, $9 for a cup of coffee at a coffee shop.
Exactly.
Right.
But so people don't think about that.
They don't. And they go and they get their insert all the coffee language cup in a super whatever size, and it's a $12 coffee, and they're getting that every single day.
And you can say they get 2 coffees for $18 when they get 30 cups of coffee for $15.
Right. 50 cents.
Yep.
And that's why every morning I'm brewing and making my own coffee, and it's rarely, if I'm buying coffee out somewhere, I'm like there for breakfast or something. I'm not going and stopping at a coffee shop to buy coffee. It's made at house, because it's 50, 60 cents a cup instead of $9, $12 a cup of coffee.
And you make it how you want.
Exactly. You make it how you want. With yours, it's a lot easier. You don't need anything extra.
Exactly. There you go.
You don't need the sugar and the creamer to make it good. So, but it's, every entrepreneur in every business faces that pricing dilemma of, do they go up to, not necessarily in your case, in every case, increase profits, but increase profits enough to then take on its staff to start having somebody else working all day to get more product out there.
Yep. I think the next step is probably have to raise the price somewhere to meet in the middle, not quite at $20, $22 a bag, but somewhere in the middle, 17, 18. And if you just do a random Google search for the same type of coffee that we do, like high quality organic coffee, it's usually up there about 20 to 22 on average.
Yeah, that's what I figured. For organic coffee, if it's south of $20, they're going to be like, why is this under $20? But again, that's a specific market that's looking for that specific product.
And the people that you talk about that know that about coffee and know that them coffees are $20 to $22, when they see this for $15, they scooping them up.
Yeah.
And so that's helping me in a way for now. And as I grow, you're selling a whole lot more when somebody would normally buy 1 or 2 of those bags, but they're buying 6 or 7 of them just because of the price. It's almost like they're on sale.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're right. They're on sale and they're moving it. So, like, are you selling it outside of your website? Are you selling it on Amazon or any other type of platform?
I have not moved to Amazon yet. It is something I've looked into. Just haven't done it yet. But it's mostly stores and the cafes and online at the moment.
Yeah, well, you've got to have that price increase for Amazon because of how much they take.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, to their fulfillment and to do their platform and all that stuff, they take a pretty good bit out of it. So selling it at your price point may still not make sense.
That'd probably be way worse for me to sell it at that price point.
Right, because if you're selling it for $14, $15, they're taking probably half of that or something. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I know it's expensive to sell on Amazon. But you move a lot of volume.
I haven't looked too much into it, but somebody mentioned that there's 2 different ways to do it. You can have it at their fulfillment center, and that price is way higher since they're doing all the bagging, shipping, and everything else.
Yeah.
Or you can do it yourself, and as they order it, you get the order and you send it, but you make more money.
Right.
And that'd be good either way.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much time you have in the day to fulfill Amazon orders outside of your normal website orders. So I like it. What's next? What's next for French Settlement? Obviously, you got the air show coming up, and you're exploring the golf cart route, and you got the bagging machine still looming over. But what's next? Where do you want to take French Settlement from here?
So next, and not a whole lot of people know about it, but we are working on a brick and mortar.
Okay, where at?
That's going to be on Diversion.
Okay.
Little strip mall, and it's going to have a drive-through, which was part of my request. Like, I'm not going to do a coffee shop without a drive-through because you basically lose half your customers.
Yeah.
So many people are just not going inside for whatever reason.
Well, they're especially coffee or a morning item.
And they're on their way to work.
They're on their way to work, and they're like, let me stop, and I've got 5 extra minutes. They want to go in and out. So, okay. So how's that coming along? Are y'all...
We're still in the very early phases of it. Working on blueprints and how to remodel it and what would all we want it to look like on the inside. But we're hoping to be definitely by the end of the year, but even maybe sooner, within 3 months.
So are you going to roast the beans there as well, or just ship all the products to the store? No,
just bring it there and serve coffee.
Yeah, I know some folks like to have that roaster inside the store. That aesthetic. But again, if you're after mostly drive-through, or that the target market, you're going to have more drive-through than in the store, it's like, let's just get the product ready to go.
At some point, this ain't going to be the only store we ever do. So at some point, I do want to take the smaller roaster I told you about and put it in the store. And
just for the aesthetic of it.
Just for the looks and see the black and gold and kind of see where it started. And people just like to look at it.
Yeah, doesn't sound like you're going to be sticking around at that plant for another 9 years, Billy.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm going to try to make it work. I'm going to entertain that idea.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so you got one store happening now. Is your wife going to run it? Who's going to?
My wife also has a full-time job.
So she quitting her? I mean, like, Billy, at some point, somebody's got to take the leap here.
I think it's going to have to be her first, which is why I can stay at the plant longer than expected.
Yeah.
She used to tell me I had to be the one that left first because I do all the roasting, and that's the main part. That's the foundation of everything.
Well, yeah, of course.
But now I have the bigger machine. I can do all the roasting for the week in pretty much a day at the moment, and she can do everything else for the rest of the week. So I think right now we're leaning towards her leaving first.
How'd she take that news?
I think it was her idea.
Oh, okay. Well,
she's
good.
all about it.
So she's all into making the different coffees and everything.
Oh yeah, she loves doing that. She loves all about being the baristas and taking the orders and maneuvering the truck around.
Good deal. I love it, man. This is exciting stuff.
There's a lot going on. And one of the other things we didn't talk about is I'm working with a distiller right now, of course, about using our coffee in one of his alcohols. And I guess it's going to be kind of like Bailey's.
Ooh.
And so people are already buying his. He's using another brand. He tried ours and he loved it. And so he made a bigger batch and loved it. Invited us over. He showed us a tour of the distillery, and he has a bar right outside the distillery, so you can kind of look through the back window and see where it's all made. So it's pretty cool. And he had his old brand and his new brand using my coffee, and I tried it. Of course, we liked ours better. He tried it. His bartender tried it. They both liked ours better. I said, well, your bar's full right now. They got 10 people sitting at it. Let's do the Dr. Pepper Coca-Cola challenge. They don't know anything about me. Let them try side to side. 10 out of 10 chose our coffee. And he was like, well, there's my answer. I said, exactly.
So now you've got a French Settlement Bailey's, I guess. I don't know. What do y'all call it? What are y'all going to call it?
Not even sure. That's his department. He said he wants to put my logo on his bottle somewhere, but of course, most of it's going to be his and his brand.
Right.
But the more he sells, the more we sell.
Absolutely.
And they already got other, because he sells to wine and liquor stores and other bars. And so when he makes that, people are saying Bailey's is a little expensive. And so they want to use his. And if he can replace Bailey's for a lot cheaper, then it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, I don't know how many competitors there are in the Bailey's space right now. Like, I've only ever seen like a Bailey's be the coffee liqueur go-to. So I don't know, Jay, do you know of any others or anything?
Kahlua, pretty big
okay.
coffee liqueur. But no, I mean, and not like micro, like local, I wouldn't say.
Okay.
Not very many.
Yeah. So you're kind of breaking into that whole space where the competition is just, a handful of products.
Correct.
So that's exciting. Okay. Any other little nuggets you're just sitting on?
There's several
that we need
more
to know
nuggets
about?
I'm sitting
Okay.
on. Like, I don't know
Any
if
others
I
we can tell?
I'm gonna keep a couple of them in my pocket for now.
Okay. All right. So we need to be on the lookout for French Settlement coffee liqueur.
Sure.
And in a brick and mortar store coming here
Yep.
shortly.
At some point, taking long down the future, I want to do eventually a bunch of trucks, a whole fleet
Okay.
of mobile coffee trucks, and some of the little permanent trailer type locations. I think they do well because people get to know this is where I can go, this particular spot every day.
Yeah.
More brick and mortars, and eventually franchise those out.
So have you thought about doing like with the coffee truck weddings
Oh yes,
and night venues? Do y'all do?
We're currently booked for a wedding now.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Like, I feel like what I've seen a lot of weddings start doing is food trucks, coffee trucks, like just champagne trucks,
Yep.
just to get some other added element to the venue. So that's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, this is exciting happening right here.
Yep.
I love it, man. Well, before we get you out of here and we go have some more coffee, we do like to ask every guest the same set of questions. So the first one is, what is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
That's a good question. I'm still doing pretty much everything I did as a kid. I'm a big kid at heart, so
I love it. So what are like 3 lessons you've learned along the way? Obviously, you've had many hobbies or endeavors where you were doing beer, you were doing wine, now you're doing coffee. What are like 3 lessons you've kind of gathered throughout your time?
probably just things I live my life. Never quit. If it don't work, try again, and just keep pushing forward.
I love it. What's something you love about Louisiana?
I love everything about Louisiana. The food,
Yeah.
food, culture, the people. Man,
Well, and then what you've also seen within the people and the culture firsthand is when you make something here locally that's done right, they are just immediately drawn to it. And you've got a loyal fan base, a loyal customer base that are just constantly saying, we want more, we want more, we want more. And like, that's the people here,
Yep.
right? When you do something here and you start doing it for the right reasons and you get out in the community, they're going to immediately be on you and say, let's do this. Like, we want to support you in any way we can. Can you make us some custom blends?
Yeah.
Can you do this? Can you do that? So that's exciting to see that, firsthand, you're experiencing the community support in a great way.
there's been a lot of support, friends, family, and definitely the community. Couldn't do it without them.
Yeah.
And they support local in every way they can, and especially a veteran-owned business.
Absolutely. So what can I do to help you?
Just keep spreading the word.
Keep drinking good coffee.
Keep drinking good coffee. Spread the word. Keep getting it out there. If you know any businesses that are interested in using it, let them know.
You got it. Will do. So we're going to continue enjoying some morning coffee. Thank you for coming on the show, Jimmy. This is really, really exciting. Billy, I'm sorry, man. It's been a long morning so far. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time, and thank you everybody else for listening or watching. We're going to go enjoy some Joe. Y'all have a good one.